Hi, I'm Allison Myers with Landtech, and today we have Jim Womack, founder and chairman of the Lean Enterprise Institute, and overall world-renowned expert in Lean. Jim, it's so great to have you here today.
Thank you. Delighted to be here.
Wonderful. Today we're going to ask him 5 good questions. So the first question I have is, in the headlines we have Toyota. They're everywhere. So, have Toyota's problems given Lean a black eye?
The more you know about Lean, the less the black eye. I can't prove that it has not given it a black eye. The Toyota system works. It worked for Toyota for 50 years. It worked brilliantly. And then they decided that they were just going to go really fast to be number one, which is something no customer really cared about. You don't buy a Toyota because they're the biggest. But management cared about it, and so they went zooming off after 2000 to try to grow as fast as they could. And the methods that had worked brilliantly for 50 years didn't work if people didn't have enough training, and if management was also saying that's not really what's important. What's really important is just grow fast. So people who know that say this is not about Lean, this is about Toyota. That they had it and they dropped it, and we now hope they'll pick it up again. People who don't know, of course, just don't know. All they know is, are they making money, or are they having products recalled, versus they aren't making money and they aren't having products recalled or whatever. So we hope people will be wise in thinking about this.
Well, in that movement from management to zoom and to move forward, it really looked like that their emphasis was on cost cutting instead of providing customer value. What is your comment on that?
Well, how do you define value? If you're a customer and you're getting your problem solved, you're buying a product that does what you need it to do at a competitive price, and it's durable and it arrives with no defects, do you really care how much it cost? So Toyota's theory was that, number one, this is the old days Toyota theory, solve the customer's problem. A product, a car that has the functionality it needs with perfect delivered quality that's highly durable with refinement, and then you price against the market. Okay. So their cost cutting was always holding those as a constant, and then saying how can we eliminate waste so that the cost is minimized while solving the customer's problem. Now, what a lot of people hear when they hear about cost cutting, and they think it's what Toyota must have been doing, is actually leaving out the quality. Selling a product that's not as durable, hasn't been fully engineered, hasn't been fully tested. Well, that's not Lean, that's just, that's just bad. So that's not what we mean.
Okay, great. You've talked something about, it's called Community PDCA. Can you tell me what is Community PDCA and how can we get involved?
Yeah. The whole Lean thing is based on science. And science is, you have a hypothesis, a plan, you do it, you run an experiment, you check the result, and you say, wow, we either got what we hoped to get or we didn't, in which case we have to adjust and try again. So, in science, the more people who are doing experiments, the more progress you can make. There's a contradiction, in a way, in the way business works. That businesses want to conduct experiments and keep the results secret. And that's understandable. And particularly when you're dealing with your direct competitors, well, you can understand that. But for society, we're all better off if we're all scientists, and we're all keeping careful results of our experiments, and we're also sharing. So that means someone from some other company, and let's just say a non-competing industry, says, well, why do I have to run this experiment? This person over here has already run the experiment. Could we just talk to each other? So that's the community I'm talking about, what's sometimes called a community of practice. A group of people who have a common problem, in this case, how to create more value with less of everything, time, effort, mistakes, and so on. So how can we find a way that we can all be scientists? That's good. But we can share our results so everybody gets better. But those, of course, who do go faster are still going to get better faster than everybody else.
So it's just learning from each other
so
and sharing our learnings.
So how can we have some cooperation in a world where we really are better at competition than we are at cooperation. And we'd be better off if we had some mix.
Great, thank you. Now, how would you characterize lean thinking for us?
All I've ever meant by lean is creating more and more value with less and less. And that means less time, less space, less effort, fewer errors. It's pretty simple. That's all lean is. The question is how you do that. When people hear me say that we should create more and more value, I think one of the misunderstandings is that we're talking about a clearly defined product and how can you produce it cheaper with fewer defects, with more durability. That's kind of it. But actually, people's problems change all the time. Your company is in the stretch wrapper business.
Correct.
What needs to be wrapped, how it needs to be wrapped changes all the time. And even the things that stay the same, they're new dimensions. So the part that people don't know about the lean product development process is that it starts with saying, what's the customer's problem now? It's not just how can we do the same old thing cheaper. That's kind of half lean. It's how can we actually do a better job of understanding the problem, solving the problem, while we take things out less and less effort, but never value. We never take value out, only waste.
Wonderful, thank you. Now, what did you think of your experience with your walk around today here at Landtech?
Well, I've been walking around here forever. I was young. I had hair when I started walking around here. And it's great to come back time and again. I will say that sometimes I've come back and things weren't as good as when I was here before. And sometimes I come back as I did this time when I say, wow, look at this. They've moved to a whole new dimension. When I first came here, which was about 1993, which is a long time ago now, this was a place that was just on fire with tools. They were going to have cells. They were going to have a pull system as opposed to MRP. They were going to have standardized work. They were going to have all of these tools. Those are wonderful things. They are absolutely, totally necessary, but they are never sufficient, because tools only work in a management system that has the same logic as the tools. And I will say, in the early years, I admired the just do it attitude, the enthusiasm, the gonzo kind of spirit. Said, whoa, wonder where the management system is that can sustain this. And turns out sometimes it wasn't there. What's really been fun on this trip is to spend the morning walking around at the standard management review of every activity in the business, where everything is visual and everybody who's involved is there looking at the board and looking at each other and on the spot making the trade-offs that you have to make in every business, because if we're going to deal with this problem, that means everybody's going to have to change what they were planning to do. So how do we deal with this? Right now, let's figure this out. That was very exciting. So I'm feeling great about Landtech. Now about the management system. I always loved the tools. Now management looks to me like is headed in the right direction. All you have to do is completely diffuse it and sustain it. Two little things, diffuse and sustain. That's the thing that really, really is sufficient. So I hope that happens.
Jim, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure and an honor to have you here today. That's been Jim Womack for 5 Good Questions. Thank you.